Yo, yo, yo. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another trade recap. It is Tuesday, August 5th. I'm up $2,100 on the day. I did not really expect to get a trade today because after the morning session, I was pretty much done for the day. I ended up coming back in the last hour just to take a peep because I was on Twitter Spaces, and I ended up taking a small scalp with some pretty low size. So kind of running you guys through the day. The bias for this trade really wasn't the bias I had going into the day, but I want to cover kind of the malleableness of specific concepts when we do trade and the way that we view price action. So I'll run you through this trade first and then kind of what I think was a potential short that I could have taken in the morning that I just did not take. In my opinion, I didn't have enough confirmation, but I think it was still decent. But going into kind of the PM session, when I hopped on the chart at around 3 o'clock, so around basically power hour, NQ was looking super, super heavy as we had tried to rebalance price, took these two internal highs. We were still rejecting this fair value gap. We're generating this internal sell side liquidity. And when we get back below this series of 15-minute candles, this is where I would want to see this act as an internal change in an internal order block, right? We come up, take this internal high, we get below these series of down close candles. I want to see us come up and reject this, right? So when I'm looking at price and I'm thinking, okay, we're really heavy, we tried to rebalance higher, and now we've gotten back below this series of down close candles in the 15-minute. I would want to see us come back up to tap this change and then continue lower towards the generated sell side liquidity that we have. So we ended up coming up. Once we tapped the change, I entered short, and my stop loss was the candle high of this high to the left of us. So pretty tight risk on this. And keep in mind, I was only in 3 contracts, so I was really only risking probably like $1,500 here. So I was targeting these relative equal lows, just looking straight towards new lows. We ended up starting to sell back off. Now, I ended up taking this off early because we were very, very close to close. So we ended up having this initial rebalance. Once we had this initial rebalance, I was at break even at this point. So I was still waiting. We ended up selling back off. Now, once we took this internal low, I just took it off. So if I go off of execution, I'll just show you the execution of the actual trade. Yeah, I took it pretty much right after we took that internal low, which, keep in mind, was actually the best possible exit because if I held this going into close, I would have gotten stopped at break even. So I took it pretty much 2 minutes before close. Now, keep in mind, I do not normally take trades power hour or this close to close, but sometimes I do have conviction, and what I'll do is, again, like this, put on low size. I told you guys in the last couple of videos, I've been trading on this account. I've been wanting the size, and normally I want to risk around 3 to 5K per trade on this account to start sizing. This was one of those trades where I did not do that. It wasn't high probability, and it was so close to the close. Not that it wasn't a good setup, or else I wouldn't have taken it, but it wasn't high probability because it was also close to the close, right? If I'm putting on size, I want to be putting on size like the first 30 minutes of the open. So I took this in the PM session with low size, put only 3 contracts on. It ended up playing out. It's a nice little, recoup from the initial loss from yesterday. But right now, our goal is just to kind of see what ends up happening the rest of the week. I wanted to make this video because I want to track all of the trades on this account. I believe we're back up to like 34, I think, on the account. Let me pull this up and see what it's at. Yeah, we're on 34. Keep in mind, this account started at 15. The high was at 39. We're now back to 34, so trying to get some good setups and bring it back up. But again, the whole point of this is I really don't want to focus or don't care about what this account is at. The account is just a simple byproduct of what we focus on, right? So now when's the next high probability opportunity? Staying patient, having good habits, waiting for the market to align. If I don't know what the market's going to do, if I don't have confidence in what the market's going to do, then I wait for myself to see my edge. Everything else is completely noise. Stop caring about what the market's doing 24/7. Only care about what your edge is, what's present, and that's how I'm going to grow this account, and that's how you're going to grow an account as well. Now, going to the trade idea in the morning, I was looking to take shorts on ES going into the AM session, but it just wasn't very clean, and it wasn't exactly what I needed to see. Now, on the bigger time frame, we had taken this recent high to the left of us. We had a big move up from yesterday, so I wanted to see us fall back down inside the range. On the 1 hour, we had a change in the state right here. We came back up, which is completely fine, doesn't invalidate the model as this high was still protected. And then going into open, we created this fair value gap where I was looking to start to see a sell-off, but where NQ was at the time kind of threw me off, and I was more so trying to understand what we want to do, because NQ lacked displacement through these lows in the AM session where we sold off, immediately took sell side, and then started to rip towards buy side where, again, we still kept the high protected, but we just took the internal high, almost acting as like a turtle soup. There was no SMT. If there was, I would have probably had more conviction. Actually, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there was an SMT. Was this high? Where was this high on ES or on NQ? No, it was that high. Yeah, there wasn't an SMT. But the entry model of what I was looking to take this, and I did alert it when I was live streaming, and I said this could be a short opportunity, was this fair value gap getting ran through and us having the 1 minute change. So we rejected the 15 minute. I zoomed in, had a 1 minute change in the state to the downside, got below that 1 minute fair value gap as well that we ran through. Could have taken a short on that little retracement and target. I would most likely be targeting, see if there's a standard deviation, so possibly this, even though this is kind of a hard standard deviation because we technically didn't manipulate this high, so that really wasn't the manipulation leg. It was more so like this, but it's really not clear, so I kind of wouldn't use that to base it. But I would be looking for more so the bulk of these imbalances here. Normally, when we look for a price target with like a big move like this, we want to look for whatever the big imbalance is, right? So when we look at like here, this is kind of price action, but below it, there's no price action, right? It's just an imbalance. And we know that the market rebalances to inefficiencies. And when I zoom out, that becomes a bigger time frame inefficiency. So we went just straight back down to that 1 hour fair value gap to rebalance. But I'm overall happy with the day. I'm surprised that I even took a trade today. We'll see how the rest of the weekends up playing out. I'll keep you guys updated on this account. If you guys want to watch me trade live, again, in the mentorship, I'm live every single morning with our community, with the team. Put some recent testimonials. In fact, one of our students literally today had a $27,000 payout. I'll post that up on here as well so you guys can see. His name's Xavier, absolute beast. We are seeing amazing amounts of success in the community and people that are joining, wanting to learn, wanting to watch me live trade, asking me questions in the charting session, getting their trades reviewed. So if you're looking for a mentor, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can book a call with us and start talking more about that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.